y'all. Today we're going to do a garden harvest, and there are a few things I wanted to show y'all first. If y'all heard me laughing, I was laughing because a little hummingbird that sounds literally like an F1 car just flew by my head right as we started. But speaking of birds, the first thing I wanted to show were the sunflowers. These are ones that the birds planted. We have our little feeder tree here, and they planted these, and they're doing really good. They're so pretty and nice and open, and Robert has been so sweet and left them here so we could have the sunflowers. So we are really loving that. Also, there is another one I want to show, and I'll take you over there and then we'll be right there and I'll show you all about that. Okay, here we have another sunflower. This, though, isn't a sunflower seed from the feeders. This is my primrose sunflower that I guess the birds must have taken and didn't eat it. It must have fell out while they were trying to eat it, and it grew right here. So we are so excited. These usually get like way taller than me, but they're not in like any fancy soil. This is just the normal clay soil. So that's what they're doing there. And then we're going to turn around and I'm going to show something else I'm so excited about. Robert found this the other day. I had planted some elephant ears the other day. I got them, I think, for 75 cents. And we actually had one that come up. So I'm really excited about that. And I'll also show, I know it's kind of still a weedy mess. There's a lot of the garden that's that way this year. But this is our banana tree that we had inside. And it is doing really good. It has grown so much, though. It is looking really good. Okay, I think we're going to head over and do the tomatoes next. Okay, we're back, and we are going to start with these big slicer tomatoes that we have here. We had to take the phone in. It is starting to get a lot warmer, and the phone is not happy about that. We really enjoyed those cooler days that we had. But it is also crazy to think that we started all of these tomatoes in March, and they are already, oh, I think something got that one. Yep, something got that one. We'll throw that one away. I have had so many issues with raccoons and all kinds of things. That big one I had on the end, the raccoons ended up getting. I was so sad about that. But we started all of these tomatoes in March, and they are doing so good. I am super excited about that. Let's see. Oh, this one, something's got, I guess, a little bit of, I had some issues with cracking because that one came off and it's green. But I had issues with cracking because of all the rain that we've been having. See, some of those aren't very good. So I'm trying to get in here. I think this one is a Better Boy, if I'm not mistaken. I had two Better Boys on the ends here. And I think that's all for that one. Okay, thank you for holding the basket. I appreciate that. And let's see, I'm trying to see.
There's one right here.
Yeah, I think there was one that was messed up. There is a lot of cracking issues. They were not happy about that rain that we had. It really threw things off. That is the negative about big tomatoes, is whenever you do have issues with rain and things like that, that you lose a lot more than if it was just a small little cherry tomato. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to remember what we have here. This is Chef's Choice Orange. We did have a lot of these last time, and there are some on the back. I have a few of these. And let's see.
There's one right here.
Is there? Oh, yes, I didn't see that. Thank you. Oh, it's not good. I don't know what keeps happening. I don't know if the critters are getting them. Like I said, we are having so many issues with the raccoons. Not only are they getting all of the stuff in the garden, they're also getting the feeder trees and getting in that, and we're losing all kinds of sunflower seeds, which is really expensive. So we have not been too happy with them. But we can still, like, even like ones like this, you can just cut the bottoms off. I'm gonna just make sauce with these, I think is what I'm gonna do. We usually keep a few for like sandwiches or burgers or things like that. But I tell you, this Better Boy is doing really good. Like, I forgot how well these produce. They are a big producer. Let's see, I see another one here too. Oh, I think that thing just rolled. It rolled where I couldn't get it. There we go. Okay, I think that's probably good.
There's more off in there.
Is there? Okay, well, I couldn't tell that they were that ripe whenever I looked at them the other way. So I guess we'll go back around with the basket. I have my hands full. They're starting to pile up a little bit. And we still have all of our paste tomatoes. So I guess we'll go back down here and see if we can get these. They really didn't look like they were that ripe. I guess they're kind of ripe. We'll go ahead and pick them though, because like I said, the critters have been getting them. Yeah, that one's not good. Critters have been getting them, so we'll not use that one, but we'll get these other ones.
We didn't get a whole lot of rain. We were supposed to get a bunch of rain, and we didn't end up getting it.
Did I miss some more?
And the birds will.
I think the rest might not have been good. I think I got
The birds
I missed one.
will actually peck these tomatoes.
Yeah.
You can see on this one, that's from a bird pecking it, and they'll literally peck up to get moisture because there's literally no moisture around for them to drink.
Well, they did good a few years ago. We figured out that that's what they needed was the bird bath, and we did good a few years ago. But for some reason, the little babies this year, they love just to get the tomatoes instead of the water.
They haven't learned. Their parents haven't taught them well this year.
They were so cute. I enjoyed watching them. They had discovered the blackberries, and they were so cute going in the blackberries. They were having the best time getting them. So now we're on to our paste tomatoes. I know some of these aren't fully ripe, but they ripen on the counter just fine. And since I'm having so many issues with the critters, I'm going to go ahead and pick them if they're just starting to turn color. There is a spider on this one. Hopefully he doesn't get me. But I have found, I know that's kind of like a thing that a lot of people don't like to do. They like to let them vine ripen, but I found that they are just fine that way. And honestly, we have a lot less loss if you do it that way. Oh, I hear something in there. What is it?
What is that?
I don't know. Is it a frog?
A frog or a rabbit?
I don't know.
It's running, whatever it is.
I can hear it. What is it? What did I almost touch? Oh, goodness. What is it?
It's a baby. Oh, it was a vole.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that may be part of what's eating.
Yeah, it might be. Oh, goodness. We usually don't have issues with that.
Yeah, we've had issues this year as well with like field mice and stuff like that. They literally live across the road at the neighbor's house, and we can watch them run across the road over here, and they'll come and try and eat the bird seed.
Yeah, for the past few years, we had planted mint around our house, and I thought that's what was doing it. It was keeping them away, but I don't know. They aren't doing so great this year. So I think there's some paste tomatoes in here, but I don't think they're good anymore. Yeah, they're pretty bad there. We'll just toss those over there. Oh, let's see. I think that's it. There might be some on the other side. Let me go see.
That's one good thing about living out in the country. If you find one that ain't any good, you just chuck it over in the ditch and nobody cares. Something ends up coming and eating it.
Yeah, probably like that little critter that we just seen.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there are so many over here.
They're way off down in there too.
I know. Oh my goodness, there's so many. And I don't know if I was able to say. I'm going to have to drop these off and come back for more. This is the Shelby variety too of paste tomatoes. And it's actually not supposed to be like one of the better ones for what our climate is, like the heat and humidity. But it has done amazing this year.
But we also have had some cooler and less humid times. So that may be part of it.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta be brave and go in here. Hopefully no more critters come after me. That was kind of scary.
I can't even hardly get the camera in there to show where you're going.
Oh, well, just be glad you're not in here with me. At least it's not a snake. I really don't like snakes too much. I deal with snakes. I tolerate snakes, but I don't like them too much.
And we need more snakes to get rid of that critter that just
that would be
crawled out of there.
Maybe the hawk will get him one of these times. That'd be good too. But I don't see any here. These ones here are the Tachi variety, and they're ones that are supposed to do a lot better in the heat and the humidity. I guess there's one here. If you see any others, I see some on the back side. I gotta go digging in there again.
There's some down here.
Is there? Okay, yeah. I'm so glad you do that because I would miss so many. Thank you.
Dropped one on all the way down to the bottom.
Oh, I gotta stick my hand down there. Okay,
It ain't that
we
bad.
survived. Okay, so this is all we got off of the Tachi, and I have 5 plants of those. So they didn't do quite as good this time. But our basket
There's some
is,
here that are.
or is it
Some,
just me? I guess I'm missing them. They're so neat how they're so long in comparison. That's really neat.
yeah, these are like the
Oh
way
my
they grow a
goodness.
lot lower to the ground than what some of these other ones do. Some of these
This
other
is
ones
so
grow a
heavy.
lot higher.
Yeah, some of these have are no good anymore. I have not been able to tend to the garden like I would like to. So we have some that just got left. We have had so many doctor's appointments and things over the past couple months. It's kind of been like a whirlwind, and I have not been able to take care of the garden like I would like to, but it's okay. Even if it's imperfect and that you can't do everything, they still do really, really good and produce. Thank you.
Well, that basket is full.
Yes. Well, I think that's everything for the paste tomatoes. They're falling out. It's so big. Okay. What do you want to do next?
There's
Is the
still
phone doing
more
okay?
down in there.
Is there really? I am missing everything. Thank you. The negative of wearing sunglasses. I can't see it.
Y'all didn't know Carrie is completely night blind. She can't see anything after if it gets like after just past twilight, and she can't see anything. So
He will never ride with me whenever I drive at night. He won't let me. Oh no, they're falling out. I need a bigger basket.
I don't think we have a bigger one. We got them bushel baskets inside.
I guess. They still have a few potatoes in them. Oh my goodness. So many tomatoes. That's going to be a lot of sauce again. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, do you
And
want
you
to
said you didn't think there was that much out here to harvest. I told you you were crazy.
Yeah, you knew. Is the phone doing okay?
Well, it said it was hot once, but it's still
Okay.
trucking along. So
All right.
we'll let it go until it dies.
Okay, so if it dies abruptly, you know why. This tomato here, I like to do all of my cherry tomatoes here. If you want to just pan around, you can. At this end is the Sweetheart cherry, and it is amazing. I don't know that I have ever had a cherry tomato that has this many blooms on it. I got this one from Baker Creek or like rareseeds.com, and it is really awesome. It comes from
one of the few things from Baker Creek that we've actually ever liked.
Yeah, it really is. There haven't been too many, especially like peppers and stuff. We haven't been very happy with them. But this variety comes from a guy, I think his name is like Will Bonzel, if I'm not mistaken. I have his book, and he does this like amazing garden where it's like vegan, and he basically is like super sustainable. So if you're into all of that, it is a really cool book. Like he is like super strict with how he does everything, and it's really neat. It's a really, really interesting read. But he also, on top of all of that, does a lot of seed saving, and this was one of the varieties that he really liked. There's also a bean. I don't remember what it is at the moment, but there's a bean that he has that I think I'm going to try and get too, because since this one did so well, I would like to get those too. So we're going to get these. Now we're going to move on to these plants, and these are my favorite variety. This is the Sun Gold. I just dropped that. This is the Sun Gold variety, and I love this plant. It is so amazing. I have so many of these that have cracked though. This plant produces so good. Like I think I have 2 plants here, and they are super, super productive. I did grow these from a seed packet, but I've had them where they just volunteer in the garden, and even though they're a hybrid, they still do great and produce and are wonderful. I think they have great flavor, and the acidity isn't quite as strong on these since they're like a orange tomato, but I really, really love these. They are great.
Yeah, they're really good in sauce and stuff like that, because they taste more like a canned sauce does to me than what a fresh sauce does.
Yeah, they are really good.
Because the acidity is so low, and you don't have to add a ton of sugar to them.
They really are very good. This is the tomatoes, the main tomatoes that I learned to make sauce with was with cherry tomatoes. but they are really awesome. The good thing about paste tomatoes though is they don't have as much liquid in them, and they are not nearly as like watery of a sauce, I guess. They are a lot better. Whew,
Well, we've
there is a
seen
lot
some
here.
people here recently. We thought it was kind of strange, but we've seen them make sauce and use like you would thicken gravy with I can't even think of it, cornstarch.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you could do that with tomato sauce. I don't see why you couldn't. They were doing it with like barbecue sauce, and I thought that was kind of weird. That usually barbecue sauce you cook it down until it's as thick as you want it, but
the negative with that is sometimes whenever you use cornstarch with sauces, they don't freeze well. So if you were going to
yeah.
freeze it, that might be an issue. We've tried that before with different, like I think we make like Chinese sauces, and we were not happy with the results with that.
And there's something weird too about mushrooms and
Oh yeah.
Cornstarch. If you make a sauce that has mushrooms in it and you put cornstarch in it to thicken it, and you freeze it,
yeah.
and when you unfreeze it, it's just it's a completely different substance. It almost becomes like
two separate,
like Nickelodeon gack or
yeah,
something like that. It's very, very strange.
It is very wild. Ooh, there are a lot of cherry tomatoes here. This is the negative. This is the negative to cherry tomatoes, is it takes a long time to pick them. We're almost there. This variety here is a jelly bean variety. It's okay. That's a new one we tried this year. But I don't think I will probably grow it again. It isn't my favorite as far as flavor. But those Sweetheart cherries, they have great flavor. Like they're one of our top favorites now for our family. Quite a few people ended up liking those. And I'm trying to remember what this one was. I don't remember. I think it's just Sweet 100, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's what it is.
100. I hope it wasn't no good anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go through these. Some of these aren't very good. I'm going to have to go through them before I make sauce, but it tried. I just didn't get to them in time.
We've been so busy, y'all, that we haven't had time to turn around, it seems like.
And next week's the same way.
And next week's the same way.
And this plant looks like it did not make it, whatever it was. It is at the end. I guess we can go down here. This really tall one is a sweetie. I've grown it before, and its tomatoes were a lot better. A lot of these don't look very good, so I may not pick too many of these. They have already cracked. Sorry, y'all. The phone got too hot and died. It's 6 o'clock, and we have a heat index of 102 still. But we're going to come back over here to these cherry tomatoes. These ones are a Snow White variety. These are several of our family members' favorites. They are super, super good. This is the one that I got from the store. I like to grow some from the store. Here's what they look like here. That I like to get them from the store and also grow them from seed. I had just saved seed from this variety, even though it's a hybrid variety. And this is what the plant looks like here. It's actually outproducing the store-bought variety. So I found that even if they're hybrid seeds, that they still produce really good. We were getting bigger ones. There's some bigger ones over here. But and we have several family members that have been coming out and picking these quite often. So they are really, really good. They don't have quite as much acidity as most tomatoes. I think these are probably the less acidic tomatoes that we have. And a lot of people really, really like them. Let's see, almost there. And another thing I was going to say, a lot of times, especially with my cherry tomatoes and my gardening period, I do a lot of kind of lazy gardening. I'm like really chill, kind of just let them do their own thing. I don't do a lot of pruning. I have done that in the past, and I have found that my plants actually produce less, especially with cherry tomatoes. So I kind of take the lazy, less work method with it, and they do really, really good. So I am always really happy that even though, you know, you kind of just let them do their own thing, that they still produce super great. Now this one is our sun golds, and these are doing a lot better. They're not cracking nearly as much as the other ones were. I guess we just got more rain than we realized. We did get like 4 inches a few weeks ago, so I guess that was just what sent them over the edge, and it was just too much for them. They were still trying to take in all of that, and plus we got more. It was an awful lot. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything for the raised bed garden. We are gonna get another basket because I don't think
that basket's full.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be enough. I might have put one down there. I guess I did. Okay, well, we'll set this here with the others, and we'll come down here. And this is our in-ground garden, and I really am not the biggest fan of in-ground gardens. I thought I would give it another try since I haven't done it in a while. I really prefer the raised bed garden, and it really doesn't have to cost very much. We were able to get all of our wood for the raised beds. We got that at a, what was it? I always say it wrong.
An auction.
Yes, an auction. I always say the wrong one. And we got those at an auction. I think you got like 2 truck bedfuls of wood. Didn't you get that for like $100?
It was $80.
Okay, and that was total. So we were able to get that, and we still have tons of wood left. Also, for the soil to fill them up, we just go to, well, what we did before is we would always go to like the local sanitation department, I guess is what it is, and they take all of the grass clippings and yard waste and stuff like that, and they turn all of that into compost. And you can get like, I don't know, what is it, like a what is it?
I think it's a yard, and it used to be, what was it, $12?
Yeah,
or
something like that. It wasn't very much.
But 1 yard, we had a 3/4 ton pickup, and we could barely fit a yard in a 3/4 ton pickup bed.
Yeah, and we did that several times. We have to drive a ways to get that, and what we did, we had found someone that had a dump trailer, and we were able to get a dump trailer of the soil for I think like $300 all the way dumped to the door, and it worked out a lot better for us.
We got like, what was it, 5 yards?
Yeah, something like that. And it worked out a lot better to do it that way. Our Mexican sunflower's blooming and doing really good, but you don't have to spend a lot of money on gardening. So I think that's everything for tomatoes. I think, do you want to go do the peppers next?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, now we're gonna pick the peppers. This is Robert's favorite part. He loves to pick the peppers. That is his favorite. And we grow mostly the sweet peppers, and that's what we thought we were growing here. But these were supposed to be a heatless habanero, but they were not. They were pretty spicy, so we're going to go ahead and pick them too. We have actually already taken some of the plants out, and even though these are in the in-ground garden where the plants don't get quite as big, they are doing amazing. Like, they are super productive. So if you are a person that likes things like that, I would highly recommend that, because they are a really highly productive plant. They just weren't quite heatless like they claimed.
Yeah, they had more heat like more like a jalapeno than heatless. Like, we've got the tricked you or fooled you or not jalapenos or whatever, and they have no heat to them whatsoever, whereas these have quite a bit of heat to them. Yeah. And they got that lingering heat that stays in the back of your throat for 12 hours, it seems like.
Yeah.
But you can see how poorly these little plants are there.
Yeah, when we get to the other ones, you'll really see the difference.
They're trying, but some of these aren't too bad in size, but their stalks are so tiny.
And the production is nowhere near as good. Okay.
So we'll go over here to where these other habaneros are, because I'm trying to keep them separate, because I don't know if we're going to end up giving them away, or if we're going to, I may try and make some salsa. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we had did that before, made some hot sauce.
Where are they at?
And it's crazy to think that we started all of these peppers together. I took y'all along with me all along the way, and we did that in February. Oh, there's a big, beautiful one all the way in the back. We took out all the heatless habaneros on the opposite side,
Here
and
they
there's
are.
still a few down here. But is there just one plant or two?
I think there's 2 plants.
Is there two? Okay.
If it's not 2, it's one that has grown into several baskets.
Yeah, it had like some of the ones that we had on the other side were completely stretched across. they were really big, and those purple ones look really pretty too.
Yeah,
Those
they
were a
do.
new variety.
They look really good this time. A lot better than the last time.
Yeah. They really
I'm having to literally crawl in here to get to these things.
they struggle in the heat a lot. Of like whenever we were doing this, whenever we started a long time ago, we did a lot of container gardening.
Sorry, y'all, my microphone is hitting stuff. I'm literally inside the bed trying to reach
one with
these
the plants
things.
in the jungle.
I got my microphone clipped to my hat to try and not make noise, and I think I'm ramming my hat into everything making noise. So, doing the exact opposite of what I intended.
We're trying to get our audio issues fixed, but it is really a struggle. We're trying though.
Especially when you are doing it on a basically no budget.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean unlimited budget. That means 0 budget.
Yeah, we try and keep everything budget friendly around here.
We don't try to. We have to.
Yes.
Or we don't survive.
Yeah.
Or we don't have electricity.
But that's what we do. Like all of our gardening is really budget friendly. Like I try and share like ways that we got the wood, the soil. We started all of these plants from seed, which are not very expensive. I share our favorite varieties that we like to grow, and I have all kinds of videos on how to do this, all for as little money as possible.
The most productive ones.
Yeah.
I mean, we've grown so many different types of peppers that if there's a type of pepper out there, we have probably grown it.
Yeah. Of course there's still new ones you can grow, you can try, but we find them all the time. But we have found that more often than not, they aren't nearly as good as like our tried and true ones.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it for
well, let's see what you ended up with.
Hot ones.
Jeez, that is a lot. Wow.
That's just off of that one plant and them few that were down yonder.
My goodness, and we'd already pulled up 2. Okay, so we're gonna
get this other basket.
Yeah, the bigger basket.
On the sweet peppers. And I'm kind of sad, y'all, that the pumpkins and the sweet potatoes have taken over so much, because now I can't use my little
rolly cart.
My little Beely cart to.
That was a big back saver.
Yes.
And we got those at which I always say it wrong. Which one was it?
It was an auction.
An auction. Okay. We had got those at an auction. I think you got both of them for what, like $20?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they were a really good deal. I was at the thrift store the other day and they had one of them for like $18. So that was really good.
Yeah, I'm always looking for stuff on auctions, even if I'm not buying stuff. I'm always looking. Good places to go if you're, of course, if you're here in the United States, is you can go to GovDeals, govdeals.com. That's where a lot of like cities, like municipalities, counties, local governments, stuff like that. That's where they sell their stuff. Another one that we buy from quite frequently is called HiBid. Mm-hmm. And that's where basically a lot of these local auctioneers that used to have in-person auctions have went to, is HiBid.
Yeah.
Since after
2020.
Yeah, after 2020 and all that nonsense that went on, and they couldn't have the in-person auctions for whatever reason. HiBid became, I guess they had the best infrastructure in order to handle it. And you can just go to HiBid.com, This is not a commercial, by the way.
We're not
We're not
sponsored.
sponsored by them, but if they would like to sponsor me, I would love to take their money. But just go in there, and then up at the top.
Oh wow, look at that beauty. I think that might be a Haussinator. I'm not sure. Oh no, it's not. It's a Golden California Wonder. That's the best we've ever had one of those do.
Yeah,
so must be really happy with the new treatment we did.
It's not ready yet then.
Yeah. But it sure is pretty.
It's starting to turn colors. But yeah, up at the top of the screen, you just type in your zip code. And then you type in the distance you're willing to travel, and it'll bring up all kinds of stuff. You'd be surprised the amount of auctions that are literally right down the road from you.
Yeah, and some of the best ones we've ever went to were like less than, what, 5-10 miles away?
Yeah.
We've done really good that way. And we live out in the middle of nowhere. So that is a really cool place to do. And I don't know if I had mentioned some of the varieties here too, but these ones up front that we have that is probably our #1 favorite variety is Gypsy Peppers. And then our probably second favorite would be the King Arthur Bells. They're the super tall ones in the back there. Those have done wonderful and are almost always my tallest plants.
This pimento pepper died.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
It is dead.
That was a store-bought one that we were trying.
Yeah.
It just couldn't take it.
Sometimes the heat, you do everything you can, and it's just like, I don't know if y'all have had animals or whatever that are sick. Some of them just, it seems like they've got all the will in the world to live, and some of them it just seems like any little thing, and they're just like, oh God, I'm gonna die, and they can't take it. So, of course, I guess there's people that way too, but.
Yeah, and if you've ever had chickens, they're mostly that way.
Oh yes. Yeah, if you ever get a sick chicken,
it's really hard.
We've had at one time we had over, what was it?
Well, over 100.
100. I was going to say like 170 or something like that at one time.
I just know it was over 100 and a lot.
So here's the new babies that we planted. If we could get the
sweet potato
vines out of here, I'm gonna cut some of these vines so they can get some light.
These are the Bonnie's plants. They don't look like they've grown an awful lot.
No, because they can't get any light because the sweet potatoes have taken them over.
Yeah, I have found that sweet potatoes are a great companion for peppers. And I did an experiment this year. We'll see what I like better, but I did 2 different methods. This one is a new method, and you can see how tall, like even this, the vines are going up in the pepper plants in the cages. So this is a new method I'm trying. We'll see if they produce really well. And this is what I normally do, which they still go everywhere. But I like to do this. This is where I do it with the slips. That's what I did down here. And we're going to see which we end up liking better at the end of the year. But I have found that they work great for the peppers. They shade the soil to where it keeps it cooler, which peppers, I know a lot of people say they like the heat, but they only like it to a certain extent. Oh, that is beautiful. Very pretty. And so they do that, and they also help suppress the weeds too. And they also it almost acts like a living mulch for the peppers, and it keeps them cooler, and they don't dry out nearly as much.
Branches from that one that you pulled out.
Habanero. And you threw it in the pumpkins.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I made it all the way out.
And they have really pretty purple flowers. It's the end of the day, so they're closed up now, but they are really, really pretty. We're getting more beautiful peppers. These are the King Arthur bells, and I found that these are the best, most productive bell peppers that I have been able to grow. The only other one that did similar in this I think it was called a Bonnie's Green Bell. It was really good, but I prefer this one. They are you keep finding the spiders. They
like building their nest right down in there.
But they are super, super productive, and they are super thick-walled and are just a great sweet bell pepper. They make great stuffing peppers. They are really, really nice. And we generally try in the summertime, whenever we're getting all these peppers, we make kind of like convenience freezer meals, and we will take the peppers and stuff them and like freeze them before we cook them and everything, and just stuff them with several different ways. We do like a Mexican variety and like an Italian kind of variety of stuffed peppers, and we just freeze
All right,
them.
y'all. Sorry, we had to go cool the phone off again. It's so hot out here, it just can't take it.
It is really hot.
It's about so hot out here, we can't take it.
It is. We really enjoyed them cooler temperatures that we had. Cooler in quotation marks.
Yeah.
It was still pretty hot.
These are lots, some of these purple.
Those are
Zulu.
Yeah, from Baker Creek.
Yeah.
I really wasn't the biggest fan of those. They are not very thick-walled, and I don't know, they're just okay. I probably won't grow them again. They're not super productive, but they do add a lot of color. Like, they are very pretty.
Are pretty.
Yeah, they do add that. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Really the only advantage I see to them.
Yeah.
They look nice. They make your pepper mixtures, whenever you chop up everything, look good.
Yeah. We grow a lot of peppers because we use that basically in place of onions. So what I do is I just chop them up and freeze most of them if we're not using them for stuffed peppers, and I also do pepper poppers. But if I'm not using it for that, I just slice them up, and that way that they're a really easy thing. You just, instead of having to chop in an onion or anything, you just throw the bag of frozen peppers in there with your meat and cook it up, and it is super easy. And we like them to look really pretty. We try and get lots of different colors like greens and purples and yellows. We don't have much yellow in there yet, but we will, because there's lots of gypsy peppers. And I think these are the Lisa peppers. They're another variety that I got from Baker Creek. They actually are thick-walled, and they're okay as far as production. They're probably not nearly as good as like the gypsy peppers, but they're okay. They're probably really good for heirloom variety, I would say. Oh, there you go.
For some reason, too, noticed that at certain times of year and certain weather conditions that our peppers, these gypsy peppers, will get this kind of a rusty.
Yeah, it is almost like that.
To them. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't affect the flavor or the taste or anything like that. I see one over here I missed. I gotta find it.
They are super good though. Like, these are probably our favorite variety of pepper. If we could only grow one, it would be these. They are super productive, super sweet. They have great flavor.
And you can pick them at any stage. They're not like a bell pepper or a hot pepper or whatever. You can pick them when they're green. You can pick them when they're yellow. You can pick them when they're orange. You can pick them when they're red. They don't care. Yeah, they taste the same no matter when you pick them.
Yeah, you can have one plant and still have a lot of pretty peppers with all the different colors that they turn.
Well, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Unless you see anything.
I think you got them pretty well.
I'm looking, but I don't see any. I'll pull a few of these big gypsies off so they don't turn. Usually what happens is you get these big ones and you harvest, then you come out the next day and they'll have started turning red. And then you ain't got enough peppers to harvest to make a video. So it makes it difficult. So.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for peppers.
All right, and one other thing I was going to show is our pumpkins. They are going crazy, and there's a really big one. Yes, there are little pumpkins all over, but we've noticed there's several big ones.
Big one down here.
Yeah, there was a big one, but there's little bitty ones all over. There's another one right there. Like, this was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. We took up the potatoes and we're like, okay, I think we should try this, and they are doing really good. Oh yeah, that one was the big one. But they are loaded. So, and you can see even off back in there, there's little babies. You get to look in there all over. So I am really excited about that. I think we are going to have more pumpkins than what we know what to do with.
And these have been in here how long?
Oh gosh, I think we did that the end of June.
Yeah, and this was a clear bed
Yeah.
at the end of June.
Yeah.
There was nothing in it
And
whatsoever.
there's even some starting to try and grow again too.
And
so
it's just exploded
yeah,
into this.
that's
It is
awesome.
crazy to look out here every day and see how many new flowers. And the bumblebees the flowers are so big, the bumblebees like to crawl in there and go to sleep and take a nap in them.
Yes, that's so cute. And the garden in general has just really, like every week, every video we do, it's amazing with how much growth. And these all started just from tiny little seeds. It's really, really amazing.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hold on. Wait a minute, guys. We were going to come back here and show you these Mexican sunflowers.
Bee on it. There he goes.
How pretty they are. The bees love them.
Yes, they really do.
They're literally always on them. But they look so pretty.
And they're really tall too. Like they're like almost as tall as me.
Yeah.
They're really tall. And we have an apple tree down here that they're almost as tall as the apple tree. I don't know if you can
can't even see the apple tree.
It's so big. But the reason we came back here.
Oh yeah, we got some apples to harvest.
Unfortunately, it is not going to be very good this year. Last year I think we got like 20 pounds or something.
Yeah.
And this year is not going to be nowhere near that good. But
the critters and this year we've had woodpeckers, which was strange to me. We never had them do that before, but we had the woodpeckers would literally crawl up in the tree and peck the fruit off of the vine or off of the limb and then just stand there and watch it fall. I don't know if they thought it was a game or what, but we have had problems with raccoons coming and stealing all our apples.
And we've had lots of issues with them this year.
Yes, we've had tons of issues with raccoons. Raccoons are our nemesis around here.
Yes, they are.
Before we've had fox problems, we've had raccoon problems, we've had rabbit problems. We don't mind the rabbits so much. Can you reach it?
No.
See if I can. Oh, I got it.
Hey, y'all got it. Y'all got it together. That's good.
Sorry if that looked weird on the camera with y'all jumping with me. Didn't mean to make anybody sick if I did.
Okay, well, I don't know if there's much more. Last year I had like a big stainless steel bowl. I think it was probably 20 pounds. And the funny thing is,
over here.
The funny thing is with this tree, it was supposed to be a Jonathan apple, which is a red apple. But all these years that we've had this tree, it has never been red.
Yeah, they've always grown green apples.
Oh, I can't reach that one.
Can you stand on the lawnmower tire and reach it?
Maybe. Watch me fall down is what we're going to do. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. I didn't fall down.
Good job. Well, we got a little basket of apples anyway.
Enough to make something. We can make a crisp or something. I don't think we missed any more. But I think that's everything.
Either. All right. Guys, well, I guess we'll cut back to our original outro.
It'll just be missing the basket of apples here. This is what we got.
Yeah, y'all will never know. Y'all will never know the difference. It'll be cut up in editing.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? How would they know?
Well, we'll go in and weigh all of this stuff, but this is where we're at right now. We got all of this. So thank y'all all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.